holy name given by Vyasadeva and Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the various scriptures or scriptures and portions of the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as putive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call today. So let us move to the next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Daksdas from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arindax Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Induleka Karna Devidasi from Melbourne.
Hare Krishna Induleka Karna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavata Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Is there anyone who would like to introduce on the call today?
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, and to you and all the devotees. All grace to Prabhupada, all grace to Assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 8.3.5. So I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, we have time, we will give small introduction on you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and then I hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction on Prabhuji. Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you Mataji for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna dear devotees, today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji on our call today. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. He earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010 and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here was a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Now I will hand over the call to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you all the devotees for this opportunity to serve. I'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutatakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing from 8th canto, chapter number 3rd, entitled Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender, verse number 5. कालेन पञ्चत्वमितेषु कृत्स्नशो लोकेषु पालेषु च सर्वहेतुषु तमस्तदासीत् गहनं गभीरं यस्तस्य पारे अभिविराजते विभु. Translation. In due course of time, when all the positive and effective manifestations of the universe, including the planets and their directors and maintainers, are annihilated, there is a situation of dense darkness. Above this darkness, however, is a supreme personality of God. I take shelter of his lotus feet. Purport. From the Vedic mantras, it is understood that supreme personality of God is above everything. He is supreme above all the demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. He is supreme controller. When everything disappears by the influence of his energy, the cosmic situation is one of dense darkness. The Supreme Lord, however, is the sunshine, as confirmed in the Vedic mantras. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. In our daily experience, when we on earth are in the darkness of night, the sun is always luminous somewhere in the sky. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of God is the Supreme Sun, always remains luminous, even when the entire cosmic manifestation is annihilated in due course of time. Hare Krishna. This is a very beautiful section of Bhagavatam going on. The pastime of the deliverance of Gajendra. This story has come up because Parikshit Maharaj asked about the avatar, Manvantar avatar in the fourth Manvantar. The fourth Manvantar was ruled by Tamasa, the second son of Priyavrat. And in due course of describing Shukdev Goswami describes in every Manvantar, there are 6 personalities who appear as the avatars or expansions of Lord. Manvantara, Manudeva, Manuputra, Sureshwara, Rishayo, Amshavatarascha, Hares, Shadvidam Uchyate. The predominating Manu, the prominent Devatas, Manvantara, Manudeva, Manuputra, the sons of Manu, Sureshwara, the Indra, the ruling Indra, Rishayaha, the Saptarishis, and the Amshavatar, the Manvantara avatar. They are all coming from the Lord. They are expansions of the Lord, either Swamsha or empowered incarnations. Shukdev Goswami describes that Hari was the Manvantara avatar and he delivered Gajendra. Parikshit Maharaj, being a very eager audience, he asked, "Can you please tell me about the deliverance of Gajendra? How Lord appeared and delivered him?" So in response to this, we are hearing the story of Gajendra, how he was on a holiday with his family members, and in the Mandakini Ganga, he was caught by crocodile. The fighting is going on. It went on for 1,000 years. Slowly, everybody has left. Gajendra realizes that nobody can help him now in this situation. In a very, very hopeless, distressed state, picks up a lotus flower and offers to Lord Vishnu. In that situation, he remembered the past life. Prak jajapya paramam japyam prak janma anusikshitam. He chanted the glories of the Lord, which he had memorized and learned in the last life. That's the power of devotional service. He starts offering beautiful prayers in the body of Gajendra, in the body of an elephant. Elephant is not so intelligent animal. But even in the body of Gajendra, an elephant, he remembered. This is the extraordinary mercy of the Lord. When Lord wants to expedite the deliverance of a devotee, he puts his devotee in some situations where he is forced to surrender. Just like another story is of Bharat Maharaj. Although he had reached the stage of power, but because of attraction to a baby deer, he fell down. Shukdev Goswami writes that it was not because of the karmic reactions of Bharat Maharaj that he fell down. He described there are 2 types of prarabdha karma. There is an auspicious prarabdha karma and inauspicious prarabdha karma. The auspicious prarabdha karma is arranged by the Lord. It is the plan of the Lord to expedite the deliverance of a devotee. And the inauspicious prarabdha karma is because of the anarthas, because of the sinful activities. So there, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that the fall down of Bharat Maharaj was not because of his inauspicious, sinful karma. It was the plan of the Lord. And here, this king, Indradyumna, he fell down and he became Gajendra. It was the plan of the Lord. Because everything happens in the life of a devotee, it is a plan of the Lord. He made a small mistake of not giving respect to Agastya Rishi. He was thinking, why should I get up? And he was cursed because Agastya Rishi could understand the mind of Indradyumna Maharaj. It was all arrangement so that he can be purified of his contaminations and attain the supreme state of pure devotional service. So Gajendra, as he is now in the crypts of crocodile, he is offering beautiful prayers. These prayers are The chapter is itself entitled The Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender. After struggling and fighting for thousand years, he has realized that nothing of this world can help me. All his friends, all his relatives, children, wives, everybody is gone. He's alone there fighting, getting weaker and weaker and weaker. That's the condition of people in the world many times. The more they try to come out of the problems, the more they realize they are helpless. People in this world, they take shelter of 8 things. Atmajaya Sutagara Pashudravina Mandushu Rajye. They take care of their body, wife or husband, children, home, vehicles, wealth, relatives, and property. They hold on to these things. They take care of these things very nicely because they think these are my armies. But Bhagavatam says they don't realize these are fallible soldiers. They have apatya kalatra adishu atma sainyashu asatsu. They are temporary. They see that everybody is getting destroyed in due course of time. Pashyannapi na pashyati. They see, but they don't see. And it requires to go through such intense testing times to see. Because many times, the same applies in our spiritual principles also, bhakti life also. We have heard many times our principles of devotional service, how we have to be serious, how we have to be sincere in our chanting, in our sadhana, in our prayers. But many times it requires such intense testing times to actually hear them. Otherwise, we don't hear. Otherwise, we read Pashyanapina Pashyati. And Krishna plans his devotee's life so that the devotee has to forcibly hear. Krishna leaves no option for his devotee but to hear. That is how Krishna plans the life of his devotee. He is working more than we are working to come close to him. Maharaurav Vaite Korile Tomara Uddhara Kripara Samudra Krishna Gambhira Gapar. Haridas Thakur is telling to Sanatana Goswami, whose body was full of pus-filled boils. Mahaprabhu embraced him, he purified him, cured him. Haridas Thakur is saying, just see, Lord is so very merciful, he has liberated you from the hellish situation. Kripara Samudra Krishna Gambhir Apar. Krishna is Gambhir Apar. Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna is working very gravely to protect his devotees. He is really working hard so that we can understand the value of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we will go on with our life. This calamity which came in the life of Gajendra, Krishna puts this calamity in the life of devotees also. Sometimes subtle calamities, sometimes gross calamities. And we are forced to take shelter. If we don't take shelter voluntarily, we'll be forced to take shelter. You can't leave. Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport in Nectar of Instructions, Krishna consciousness is so wonderful that one is forcibly dragged to success. Krishna forcibly purifies the devotee. If a devotee doesn't do it voluntarily, Krishna takes all the efforts to purify the devotee, to bring the devotee to a next level of devotional service. And that's what he's doing here with Gajendra also. He was a great devotee. Indradimna fell down because of some pride, became elephant. But Krishna never leaves. Devotional service is infallible, never gets destroyed. Neha abhikramanasha. And here we see beautiful prayers. The prayers which Gajendra is singing, they are glorified by the sages. It is sung millions of years back. It has happened in 4th Manvantara. Now the 7th Manvantara is going on. Such powerful prayers. The immortal prayers of Gajendra, which are benefiting everyone. That's how if Lord wants to make somebody instrument, he can make anybody instrument and glorify the process of devotional service. Mahaprabhu, in his pastimes, Haridas Dwara Naam Mahatmya Prachar, Sanatana Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas, Shri Rupa Dwara Brajera, Prema Rasa Lila, Ki Bujite Pare Gambhir, Chaitanya Rakhila. He made Haridas Thakur Namacharya. He was born in the family of Yavanas. Sanatan, he became Muslim. He was transformed into Muslim by Nawab Hussain Shah. He told Sanatan Goswami to write the Siddhanta Bhakti. Shri Rupa Dwara Brajera Premarasa Leela and Rupa Goswami. He wrote such wonderful pastimes. Who can understand? Sannyasi Pandita Gonera Karite Garvanash, Neech Shudra Dwara Koren Dharmera Prakash. He wanted to destroy the pride of sannyasis and karmis and the Pandit scholars who are thinking only we have the right to propagate spirituality. Neech Shudra Dwara Karen Dharmera Prakash. He was glorifying the principles of devotion by engaging people from low caste. And that's what Lord is doing here with Gajendra. Gajendra is animal, but the prayers of Gajendra are so beautiful. Such wonderful prayers of devotion. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namo nayaya swamshena sarvatanu brahmanasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. One of the prayers which will come. Such beautiful prayers he is offering. Madrik prapanna pashupasha. Oh my Lord, now I am in this animal body. Pashupasha. You are mukta, oh my Lord. You are free. Please liberate me. Lord may think, why should I liberate you? You are Bhuri Karunaya. You are all merciful also. Lord may say, well, I don't feel like liberating you today. You are Alayaya. You're never lazy in protecting your devotees. Interesting part of these prayers are, they are all indirect prayers. Gajendra is not taking name of any personality in these prayers. And as he's speaking all these prayers, without taking names, all the devatas, they have come to see this fight. And they're hearing these prayers and they're thinking, is he calling you? No. Is he calling you? No. Then whom is he calling? He's not calling me, he's not calling you. Everybody is wondering, because the qualities which are described by Gajendra in his prayers, they are not ordinary prayers. None of the person of this world can claim to have these qualities. And in this 5th verse, which Gajendra is praying, he says, oh my Lord, when entire universe is annihilated, you still remain. Naturally, none of the devatas remain after the universe is annihilated. So everybody is wondering, who is he referring to? Only the Lord, Supreme Lord, stays. As Chatushloki Bhagavatam describes, Aham eva sameva gre nanyad yat sadasat param paschadaham yadetacha su avashishet swasmiham. I alone, Aham eva, I alone was existing in the beginning of the creation. Aham eva asam eva agre. Nanyat. And there is nothing superior to me. I am the cause of all causes. I am superior to all the cause and effect. Sat, Asat, Param. And in the beginning of the creation, I was there. And as this verse says, after this universe will be annihilated, who will remain? Supreme Lord will remain. Yo avashishet, what remains is the Supreme Lord only. The creation pastimes of the Lord, they are apparently very difficult to understand. All the creation mentioned in the second canto, third canto, how Mahavishnu glances from his bodily pores, the Prakriti comes out in the form of Dravya. Just like we sweat, Lord also sweats. His sweat is the source of all Prakriti, all the material ingredients. Lord glances on it. And under the influence of Kal and Guna, it gets transformed into Mahatattva. Prakriti is also called as Pradhan. Pradhan gets transformed into Mahatattva. Then under the influence of the Kala and the Guna, it gets ultimately transformed into Ahankar. The Mahatattva in the mode of ignorance is called Ahankar. And Ahankar further transforms into various elements, various sense objects, prana, intelligence, and all the devatas and the mind. So in the beginning of the creation, only Vishnu was there, Lord was there. And if you go into the detail of this, creation is so very difficult to understand. But this comes again and again in Bhagavatam. This creation pastimes of the Lord, they come again and again in Bhagavatam. And many times we want to just skip it or go through it quickly so that we can reach some Leela of the Lord. Because it is so very difficult to read all the creation pastimes of the Lord. Not so easy to understand. But Shukdev Goswami tells that these creation pastimes are easier to understand than the 10th canto pastimes. How is it? How is it that the creation pastimes are easier to understand? Because nobody can imitate creation pastimes. People can imitate Ras Leela. Who will imitate creation Leela? Who will say, I will also create universes? Not possible. And Shukdev Goswami says, if we read creation pastimes, what will happen? Mayam varnayato moshya ishwarasya numoditaha shanvata shraddhaya nityam mayayatmanam yati. Mayam varnayato. If somebody hears the creation pastimes, what will happen? Shanvata shraddhaya nityam. If somebody hears this regularly with faith, mayayatmanam yati. They'll not be bewildered by Maya. That is so very important. Otherwise, people think, well, why should I hear all these creation pastimes? I will hear some pastimes of Lord with his devotees. But all these topics, all these types of verses, they come again and again in Bhagavatam. Every devotee begins his prayers by this theme. You take any of the prayers. The first section for the first prayer which comes in Bhagavatam is the prayers offered by Arjun. Arjun and Krishna are going to catch Ashwatthama, and Ashwatthama shoots a Brahmastra, and Arjun is offering prayers. And the first 3-4 verses is just glorification of the Lord as creator, maintainer, annihilator. We cannot skip these prayers. They are very, very important prayers. how the Lord creates, how the Lord maintains. Because, when we read such type of prayers, we realize that we can't imitate this. Our desire to lord it over the material nature. That's why we have come in this material world. The living entity realizes this is impossible. Better become devotee of the Lord. That's how Bhagavatam is presented in such a way that ultimately one becomes purified. Time can destroy everything, but one thing is not destroyed by time. What is that? That's our false ego. In one of the prayers, Gajendra speaks this. Jiji vishena hamihamuya kim mantar bhaishchavritaya bhayonya ichhami kalena nayasya viplava tasyatma loka varnayasya moksham. After offering sufficient prayers, now Gajendra, he has become self-realized soul. And he offers this prayer. He says, "Oh my Lord, I don't want to live. Jiji vishe na aham." What's the use of this life, oh my Lord? Antar bahischa avrita. I'm covered by ignorance. Outside I have this body, elephant body, a dull body. And inside also I'm covered with ignorance, with false ego. Ichhami kalena nayasya viplava. In due course of time, everything is destroyed, but this ignorance. The ignorance is never destroyed. So therefore, this desire of living entity to enjoy in this world never goes away. And one becomes so very engrossed in sense gratification. As Rishabdev says, Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma. Pramatta means prakrishta rupena matta, completely mad. People are mad after sense gratification. Mad person, you have seen a mad person in time. Even if he is beaten, he doesn't realize that he is getting beaten. If somebody puts water on him, no effect. Mad. That's how a living entity is. Even though we are beaten in so many different species of life, still the desire for enjoyment never goes. That's why Prahlad Maharaj, just 2 days back, there was Narsim Chaturdashi. Prahlad Maharaj offered beautiful instructions to his friends. He says, "Oh, my friends, please don't run after sense gratification. Sukhamindriyakam daitya dehinam deha yoginam sarvatra labhyate daivad yatha dukkham yattatha." Don't endeavor for sense gratification, oh my friends. Sense gratification is available in all the species of life. Just like you don't endeavor for distress, it comes. Similarly, happiness will come on its own. Tat prayaso na kartabhyo. Don't endeavor for it. Then what should we endeavor for? Endeavor for achieving the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda. Mukunda Charanambujam. Otherwise, the desire never goes. A living entity, as it comes in this material world, gets bound by the desires. In the household life, the desires are the chain by which one is bound. And the house is that prison. And Mayadevi has created such a wonderful prison. One never wants to leave. One never wants to run away from this prison. So there's tendency to enjoy, tendency to lord it over. It is so very thick. It is the toughest element of the universe, false ego. Never gets destroyed. Bhagavatam can destroy and cut this toughest thing in the creation. Just by hearing Bhagavatam, just by practicing devotional service, one can be purified. The false ego is destroyed gradually. यस्यां वै श्रूयमाणायां कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिर उत्पद्यते पुंसां शोक मोह भय अपह. Just hear. The more we hear in right consciousness, the more we serve, the more we get purified. Nobody wants to become servant in this world. Everybody wants to be the master. But in spiritual world, everybody wants to be the master. Chaitanya Niradas Moi, Chaitanya Niradas, Chaitanya Niradas, Tarudas Anudas. Advaita Acharya is singing this. Mahavishnu himself is singing, I want to become servant. Lord is telling, I want to become servant. An insignificant living entity says, I want to become master. That is a foolishness. One never realizes how foolish it is. We can never become master. But Maya Devi is such a cunning personality. Maya Devi keeps one, Maya Devi never makes one hopelessly frustrated. She keeps one hopefully frustrated. I'll enjoy next time pakka. This time I made this mistake. Next time I will not make this mistake. Fourth level of intelligence, as Srila Prabhupada says. So the desire for fame, prestige, controllership is so very deeply rooted. But devotees, they are never interested in any of this. Chandan Yatra is going on. We hear the story of Madhavendra Puri. Directly Supreme Lord stole sweet rice for him. And this Pujari, the priest of the temple, he is searching. Shiralaya Yara Nama, Shiralaya Yara Nama Madhava Puri. Toma Lagi Gopinath, Hira Koilachuri. Where are you, Madhava Puri? For you, Gopinath has stolen sweet rice. Shiralaya Sukhe Tumi Kara Bhakshane, Toma Sam Bhagyavan Nahi Tribhuvane. Please take this sweet rice and honor it. There is nobody as fortunate as you in the entire universe. Madhavendra Puri, he hears his name being called. He introduces, I am Madhavendra Puri. This priest, he gives the sweet rice and offers full dandvat. Yeah, this devotee, this pujari is also pure devotee. Otherwise, my Lord would come in the dream of, any ordinary person. But he realizes that Madhavendra Puri is such a great devotee. Lord stole sweet rice for him. Offers full dandvat pranam. Madhavendra Puri takes that sweet rice, goes in one corner, secluded place, honors entire sweet rice, and then he breaks that pot and keeps it with himself. Every day he would eat a part of that pot. If we get sweet rice, oh, it is wonderful, to eat sweet rice which is given by the Lord. But how many of us will feel like eating that pot also? That's the difference between a sadhaka bhakta and a pure devotee. Madhavendra Puri, he was thinking, well, people will come to know and my fame would increase. What happened? Thakur more shir dila lokeshab suni, dine loka bhid habe more pratishtha jani. Thakur more shir dila. Mahaprabhu, Gopinath stole sweet rice and people would come to know this. They would hear my glories. Madhava Puri Shripad Vaila. So what happened? He ran away. He ran away from Rimuna to Jagannath Puri. Why? Pratisthar Bhai Puri Gela Palaya, Krishna Preme Pratishtha Chale Sange Gadaya. He ran away out of fear of fame. Who has fear of fame? People become fearful when they don't get fame. My Instagram account is not increasing. Nobody is liking my videos. My followers are not increasing. That is a fear. But Madhavendra Puri, he has fear of fame. He ran away from that place. But before Madhavendra Puri reached Jagannath Puri, his fame had reached Puri. माधवपुरी श्रीपाद वाइला लोके ख्याति होइला सब लोक आसी तारे करे बहु भक्ति Madhavapuri आइला लोक होइला ख्याति. People came to know that Madhavendra Puri has come. They all came and they started glorifying. प्रतिष्ठार स्वभाव ए जगत विदित यही न वांछितार होए विधाता निर्मित. And the nature of fame of this world is that whoever doesn't want reputation, by the will of the Lord, the reputation comes to him. It is ordained. So that's how pure devotees, they are not free of, they are not having any desire for fame. Our condition is pakka opposite. At least we can aspire to develop such kind of desire for no fame. Na dhanam, na janam, sundarim, kavitamba, jagadish kamai. The more we take shelter of Krishna, the more we are purified of this desire to enjoy, desire to lord it over, desire to have fame. The pastime of Dhruv Maharaj is another classic example of how Krishna purifies the desire. Krishna is such a wonderful God. You go to him for some material benefits. Will Krishna give? If a devotee goes to the Lord for material benefits, will Krishna give that material benefit to the devotee? Of course, Krishna will give. But Krishna gives in such a way that the devotee will not ask for that thing again. Satyam dishatyarthitamarthito nrinam naivarthado yat punararthitam yataha swayam vidhatte bhajatam anikshatam ichha pithanam nijpada pallavam. Bhagavatam describes it is true, Satyam. What is true? Arthitam arthito nrinam. If somebody wants material wealth, Krishna gives it. नैवार्थदो यत् पुनरर्थिताम यतः ऐसा देंगे कि दोबारा मांगेगा ही नहीं. Krishna gives in a way that the devotee will not ask for the same thing again. He will see. You know what devotee will say? Why did I ask this? It has become an obstacle in my devotional service. How Krishna does it? Swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam. Krishna says, okay, you are asking for material benedictions. I will give you that. I will also come. Anichyatam, devotee says, I don't want you, my Lord. Please fulfill my desires. That's all. Krishna says, it doesn't work like that. 1 + 1 free hai. I will always come with my benedictions. And when Krishna comes in the life of a devotee, you know what happens? Ichha pithanam nijapada pallavam. Krishna's lotus feet fulfills the desires of devotee. No desire remains. That is how the Lord works. Only thing which is missing is we don't allow Krishna to enter in our lives sufficiently. You know, we are fearful. Krishna, itna hi lena hai, jada ghuso mat. No? Don't enter more in my life. We may not say it directly, but by our quality of chanting, by our quality of hearing, by quality of prayers, we are telling this to my Lord, to the Lord. Only this much is sufficient. If we really want it, we'll put all our heart. So Dhruva, as he got darshan of Supreme Lord, he was purified. And then he said, I don't want anything of my Lord of this world. Swamin Gratarthosmi Varam Nayache. That's how Krishna consciousness is so very wonderful. One is forcibly dragged to success. Even if one doesn't want to get purified, one has to get purified. And Bhagavatam gives hope. He shows how Lord is partial to his devotees. Although he is Samvam Sarva Bhuteshu, but Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyam. Whoever worships me, I do special favor for them. Swanam paksha poshanam. He nourishes his own side. न तथा हि अखवान राजन पूयेत तप आदिवी यथा कृष्णार्पित प्राण तत्पुरुष निषेवया. There is nothing more purifying than dedicating our life to a devotee of the Lord, surrendered devotee. We have to find a surrendered devotee, a pure devotee, and serve that personality. Develop relation with that personality in a deeper way. That's the power of association of pure devotees. That's how Bhagavatam purifies. The more we hear about these pastimes, the more we hear about the Lord's mercy, the magnanimous nature of the Lord, we get faith and conviction. The holy names of the Lord are so powerful. Ajamil, he chanted the name of the Lord at the time of death. Mriyamano Harir Nama Grinan Putropacharitam Ajamilopya Gaddama Kimuta Shraddaya Grinan. He chanted the name of the Lord at the time of death. That does not mean, wow. Let's see, if you chant at the time of death, ho gaya? No. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, you know what Shukdev Goswami is saying in this verse? Are Baba, he chanted without faith. What will happen if one chants with faith? What he will achieve? Are he chanted while dying? What will happen if one chants whole life? He chanted to indicate his son. What if one chants to indicate the Lord directly? And Ajamil was most sinful. What will happen if a sinless person chants? That's the power of holy names of the Lord. Just like, parents, they tolerate a small child passing stool, urine. They tolerate everything. Mother cleans the child and child doesn't even realize that he's being cleansed of. Similarly, Krishna tolerates the desires, the sinful desires, the anarthas of a devotee and allows them to grow. Srila Prabhupada tolerated so much. Deenbandhu Prabhu remembers the early days of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada was in 26 Second Avenue, just started, few people are coming, and one devotee, he was coming regularly. After many months, he had a doubt. What they would do, they would all come, take very wonderful prasad made by Srila Prabhupada, and they would leave. Prabhupada would do the cooking, he would serve, and he would clean the vessels after everybody leaves. So after many months, one devotee, later he became Mahapurush Prabhu, he is telling, I was thinking, well, some of these dirty pots get cleansed every day. And I don't see anybody around here. And the only person in this room apart from me is Swamiji. Who is doing all this? Maybe he is doing. It is not proper for him to do all this alone. So he goes to Srila Prabhupada and says, Swamiji, can I help you? Can I also wash these pots? Prabhupada said, I was waiting for somebody to ask this question. This is the nature of Prabhupada. Tolerated so much. Prabhupada went to Africa and his assistant washed his dhoti kurta, put for drying. And next day morning, Prabhupada goes to pick up and he finds that dhoti kurta, uttari, everything is missing. Somehow he had another set. He puts that. He's sitting in the Bhagavatam, giving Bhagavatam class, and he sees one of his disciples is wearing his dhoti. Other disciple is wearing his kurta. Another one wearing is Uttariya. Prabhupada begins his class by telling one should not steal the clothes of spiritual master. That's how Srila Prabhupada has tolerated so much so that we can come to this wonderful process of Krishna consciousness. We see in 6th canto of Bhagavatam, Indra made so many mistakes, but still Krishna is on the side of Indra only. He never says no. He's making so many mistakes. I'll go on the side of the demons. No, because he is a devotee. However many mistakes a devotee does, what Krishna says, okay, at last he's my person. Come, I have a different set of ways to treat this person. Apna admi. You know. So that's how Krishna works only for the welfare of his devotees. In spite of all the faults, Krishna accepts us. He never rejects us. That is our hope. In the episode of Vritrasur, we have seen the similar story. He was a great devotee, Chitraketu, cursed to become a demon. But he never lost his Krishna consciousness. He remained same wonderful devotee even in the body of demon. Same like Bharat Maharaj. He became a deer. But Bharat as a deer was more advanced devotee than Bharat as king. It's very conscious. The deer was very conscious, very careful not to get entangled again. Same with Vritrasur. He became demon. Chitraketu became Vritrasur, but he didn't lose his Krishna consciousness. Such wonderful devotional prayers. Only 4 prayers Vritrasur offers. But those 4 prayers encapsulates the essence of devotional service. Beautiful prayers. He says, oh my Lord, I don't want anything of this world. I don't want heaven. I don't want liberation. I don't want mystic siddhis. I don't want sovereignty over entire Bhumandal or lower planetary systems. I just want to serve you, my Lord. Nanaka prishtam, na chaparameshtyam, na sarvabhaumam, narasadhipatyam, na yoga siddhi punarbhavam va, samanjasatvam virahaya kangshe. Devotion is not dependent on situations and circumstances. Any situation one may be, one can practice devotional service. Only what is needed is heart which is very grateful. A grateful heart is a fertile ground where the seed of bhakti grows so very wonderfully. As we are watering, Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaye Sinchan, this Bhakti Lata beach, the Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Ko Gunoy, the seed which is already there in the heart, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karoye Uday, watered by the hearing and chanting, as it grows, we should understand this land where the seed is sown should be fertile, right? It becomes more fertile when we are grateful. If we are not grateful, even if we keep on watering this seed of devotional service, it will not grow. A grateful heart is the must. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he told once, gratitude is not a part of bhakti. To be grateful is to be grateful towards everything we have received in Krishna consciousness. Always offering prayers of gratitude. Oh my Lord, you are giving me so much. Bhagavatam describes that we cannot even write down what Lord is doing for us. Even if we get a life of Brahma, even if we are the best of the poets, we can never write down. God is working. Antar Bahis, he is working from inside and he is working from outside. Acharya Chaitya Vapusha Swagatim Vyanakti. From inside, he is directing us as Paramatma. From outside, Lord sends his representative spiritual masters. That is how we should always be grateful. And when we are grateful, the seed of devotion flourishes. Just like it is described about Raghunath Das Goswami. Yes, sarvalokaik manobhiruchya saubhagya bhuka chidakrishtapacha tatrayamaro panatulya kalam ta prema shakhi phalvanatulya. He was pleasing to all the devotees. Yes, sarvalokaik mano abhiruchya. He was pleasing to all the devotees. Saubhagya bhu. His heart became so fertile, full of good fortune. Saubhagya kachit akrishtapacha. It was so fertile that we have to till the land before sowing seeds. It was so fertile that as soon as the seed of devotion was put there, there was no need to even plow the field. Yatrayamaro panatulya kalam. As soon as the seed of devotion was sown, taprema shakhi phalvanatulya. Immediately, the tree of devotion grew. That is how, if one is grateful, the heart is fertile. Then whatever we are receiving, it will have effect immediately. And our devotees, our acharyas, they have really struggled hard. Srila Prabhupada, what all he did to give us this, just understand Mangala Arati. This is genius of Prabhupada. Rupa Goswami has given 64 limbs of devotional service. Just by attending full Mangala Arati from morning, from Mangala Arati till Bhagavatam class. If somebody is attending full entire program, they are doing more than 50 limbs of devotional service. That's the genius of Prabhupada. Any of you have thought why our Aarti durations are only 25 minutes? Why Srila Prabhupada has put 25 minutes as our Aarti duration? All our Mangal Aarti, Rajbhog Aarti, Sandhya Aarti, 25 minutes. Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if one is standing in front of the deities of the Lord for one muhurata or even half of the muhurata, one gets purified and one gets pure devotion. One muhurta is 48 minutes, half muhurta is 24 minutes. That is the genius of Prabhupada. So without even our knowing, Prabhupada has given us most powerful process. A simple act of circumambulating Tulasi, putting water to Tulasi. Rupa Goswami mentions about the potency of Tulasi Maharani. Yadrishta nikhilagashanga shamani sprishta vapupavani roganam abhivandita nirashani sittankita trasini pratyasakti vidhaini bhagavata Shri Krishna samropita न्यस्त्या तच्चरणे विमुक्ति फलदा तस्यै तुलस्यै नमः. Just by taking darshan of Tulasi, drishta, all the sins are destroyed. Sprishta, just by touching Tulasi, body is purified. If somebody eats Tulasi, roganam abhivandita, one becomes free from disease. If somebody waters Tulasi Maharani, One becomes free from all the distress. If somebody plants Tulasi Maharani, one becomes closer to Krishna. And if somebody offers Tulasi at the lotus feet of Krishna, Nistya Tacharane Vimukti Phaladam, gives love of God. Without even knowing, we are doing all this. Drishta, Krishna, Tatha Dhyata, Kirtita, Namita, Stuta, Ropita, Sevita, Nityam, Pujita, Tulasi Shubha. Navadha Tulasi Devi, Ye Bhajanti Dine Dine, Yugakoti Sahasrani, Ye Vasanti Hari Grihe. These are the 9 ways in which we can serve Tulasi Maharani. By taking darshan, by touching, by meditating, by planting, and by serving regularly. One gets liberated from this material world and goes to the abode of Lord. That's the power of Tulasi Maharani. That's the glory of Srila Prabhupada. Without even knowing, we are doing such powerful things. What to speak of if we do these things consciously? The effect will be many, many millions of times more. So we should always remember our good fortune. Because if we don't remember what we have received, we may miss it. We may lose it. We may look for the fortune somewhere else. Just like after entire Narsimha Leela is over, Narad Muni described wonderfully. Yudhishthir Maharaj, you know what is he thinking? He is thinking, such great devotee Prahlad. For one devotee, Lord appeared. Wow, I am so insignificant. Who is appearing for me? So the more we remember our fortune, the more we'll take to it seriously. Otherwise, we may miss it. So that's the beautiful nature of Bhagavatam. The more we hear, the more we are purified. The more we hear about the devotees of the Lord, we get to know what are the ideals we should aspire for. We become grateful for what we have received. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this very beautiful class. How you explained that Krishna is actually working very hard to protect us and to help us. Thank you Prabhuji for this very wonderful class. There are few questions we will go. Yes, I request Prabhu, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it seems like we should not pray for our desires and for ourselves. Seems like we should pray for fulfilling the desires of our seniors, Hari Guru and Vaishnav. Seems like we should pray for the mission, Prabhupada. Our desire seems materialistic desires. So the Jeev who is smart enough, one key point which touched my heart is nothing is more purifying than dedicating life to surrendered devotee of Lord. That is the Guru Maharaj. So it is Chiteta Kariya Aikya philosophy, something like that. So I think the desires should be only what our Guru Maharaj desires. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the comment, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you Prabhuji for that question and comment. Yeah. Next I request Vasundhara Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandar pranams to you. Beautiful class, Prabhuji. Every time I listen to a session, some new openings, new eye openers, and it's beautiful insight, so subtle, but they are so critical and important. Couple of things, but I forgot so many things. Two of the things I just remembered, Prabhuji. It's just touching. uh, yes, even in a sadhaka's life, we get to confront material challenges. Especially, I'm talking about me because I'm still in the house of part of a family. So you spoke about the 8 things we always look to as go-to for in case of need. So is the case in myself also, Prabhuji. When there are some challenges, yes, I have theoretical knowledge as Krishna is always protecting the devotees. But thing is, immediately I look forward to, hey, how do I get over this? How do I counteract this? Who to look at? Who can help me out to get out of this? So my question is that, Prabhuji, like, how do we change this kind of, paradigm? Like, go-to should be like Krishna. Yes, the material endeavor from our end should be there to counteract the challenge. Is it right, Prabhuji? Or, I mean, I'm little confused. So while definitely our dependency is on Krishna, we look at some nimitta, medium to counteract the challenge, right, Prabhuji? So is it something my understanding wrong, or is it I need to look at a different dimension? Could you please throw some light, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful question. Yes, you are very right in your approach. As Srila Prabhupada would always say, do the needful in any practical things, any practical problems, whatever we can do to solve it, that we should try our best. At the same time, we should always know that I have done whatever I can, but ultimately, whatever Krishna wants, that will happen, whatever Krishna desires. So we should always pray to the Lord that, oh my Lord, this is a very difficult situation. And if you desire, please take me out of this. We should always understand that Krishna puts us in any situation for only one reason. Just to become a stronger devotee. He wants to bring us closer to him. And because we are like those duffer students, we never learn unless we are tested.
Right. But
We
during
are
the testing phase, Prabhuji, it's like disturbing, like, the sadhana is getting impacted. I very well understand, yes, I should not get distracted, disturbed, but still I go through the disturbing phase, Prabhuji. So how do I, could you help me, like, how do I kind of perform the sadhana, chanting, etc., without getting distracted, disturbed, Prabhuji?
These distractions when we are in testing times, it is like, when a soldier is on the border fighting and the bullets start coming, he cannot say, I'm now defeated, I'm running. He has to now, fire, attack.
Right.
When problem comes in our life, when temptations come, when our anarthas come, we immediately say, I am defeated. Why this is happening to me? That is not a symptom of defeat. That is a call for action. We have to now start acting by becoming more serious in our practices. That's why Lord has put us in that situation. And many times, even after hearing all this, it doesn't come at that time. We need some devotees, very strong, wonderful devotees who can guide us to the right path. They are must.
You mean to say go to devotees for not getting distracted, disturbed with this testing condition, testing phase. Is that what you're saying?
In those testing situations, in those disturbing phases of our life, we should always have some devotee who can guide us what to do, how to remain focused in Krishna consciousness. Because we may be knowing all the philosophy, but in those situations, the philosophy doesn't come to our mind. It happens sometimes.
Yes.
If Sanatana Goswami went through a phase where he was thinking, what is the use of my life?
Mhm.
So, if he can go through such situation, who are we? So we should
Mm.
always be humble enough to approach our devotee and humbly tell Prabhuji, Mataji, this is happening in my life. Please, can you please guide me how to handle
Mhm.
this?
Mhm.
When we are humble enough, then Krishna's mercy flows.
Mm.
And personally, we should offer very, very sincere prayers that
Mm.
we can see these testing situations in right mood, not
Okay.
getting depressed, not getting, not going to the negative zone. It is a time to increase our intensity of sadhana. That is
Okay.
very
Okay.
important.
Right. Right. Right.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Second question. Can I or someone else is there?
Yes,
Can I continue,
yes,
Prabhuji?
Yes.
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji, we spoke about, I mean, right now we are just going through the prayers of Gajendra, and you said beautiful. I mean, there's a whole lot of Siddhanta, Tattva involved there. And Gajendra, while chanting the prayers, while he doesn't know the name of the Lord, the Supreme Personality whom he is addressing the prayers, he understands the Siddhanta, the eternity, right, etc., of the Tattva there. At the same time, he is like fighting for his life, 1,000+ years, and he's offering prayers for protection, right, Prabhuji? But he understands the Tattvam very well of Krishna consciousness. So, how do we understand this? I mean, I'm talking about myself. I'm not able to connect this thing, Prabhuji. His prayers are so glorified. And at the same time, he's fighting for life and he's seeking in those prayers protection from the Supreme Personality of Godhead to protect him from this danger. Right, Prabhuji? So, I mean, please excuse
sure.
me if my question is weird. Mm, so, I
The
just wanted
definition,
some clarity.
yeah. The definition of pure devotional service is Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Jip describes that Rupa Goswami, he has used the word Anya Bhilashita, not Anya Bhilasha.
Yes.
What's the
Huh.
difference between Anya Bhilasha and Anya Bhilashita? Anya
The
Bhilasha
ultimate
means
goal is Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, the other
no.
one is like for yourself.
Anya Bhilasha means no desire at all, only
Right.
desire for serving Krishna.
Right.
But Rupa Goswami has not used the word Anya Bhilasha, he has used Anya Abhilashita.
Hmm.
Why so? Because when we see the life of some great devotees, pure devotees, when their life was in danger, they prayed for protection. For example, when the Brajvasis are in trouble, they pray for protection. When Arjun was in trouble, he prayed for protection. When Uttara's child was in danger, she prayed for protection. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyatot abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. So, just to keep these devotees under the purview of pure devotional service, nobody should tell, oh, they are not pure devotees. Just see, they are praying for themselves, for their children. This is material. It
Mm-hmm.
is not material. It does not make them a lesser devotee.
Okay.
So we should always pray for protection of ourselves
Okay.
so that we can serve better.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
pray for protection of our near ones so that they can become better devotee.
Okay.
So that is important to understand. Okay, thank
Excellent.
you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranams.
Thank you, Mataji, for this.
So there is a question, how a devotee can do 24 hours devotional service? Good question. Srila Prabhupada says you can't do 24 hours, that's why 2 hours of chanting and remaining seva. Satatam kirtayanto mam, that is the principle. Satatam means, Jiva Goswami says, at least 2 hours of chanting for a sadhaka bhakta, and whatever seva possible. And gradually we'll be conscious of Krishna in all parts of our lives. Thank you.
But there are few more questions.
Shall we do Gajendra prayers in the morning, or we can go before to bed anytime? Anytime is okay, but in the end of the Gajendra prayers, I think there is something mentioned. We should recite these prayers in the morning. I'll have to check. I'm not sure. But anyways, anytime we can sing the prayers of devotees, not a problem. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. There are no more questions. Anybody wants to give any questions or comments, they can go ahead.
Hare
There is one
Krishna.
more question, Prabhu, but yes, please go ahead.
Okay, how we'll understand?
Yes.
Just ask some devotees if they accept your service, that means Lord is accepting. Simple. Nothing so, mystical about it. If the devotees accept our services, the Lord has accepted it. Because service to devotees is greater than service to the Lord. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadyanam samarchanam. So that is a simple formula. If we are confused, I don't know if my service is pleasing to the Lord or not. Ask the devotees. Simple. That's it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Questions?
Stop here.
Pancha kalpatarubhyascha
कृपा सिंधु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
नमः
वैष्णववृंद की
Jai.
जय।
जय
All the way.